What up, people? AJ Adams here, poolside, the kids in the background, and the sun in my eyes. I'll lift this up because it's kind of rude. It's all a waste of time. All the funnels, all the content, all the ads, logos. I've, in the past couple weeks, have been doing interviews with entrepreneurs who are experts, coaches, consultants, speakers, and basically breaking down what their challenges are, what their obstacles are, and what they're doing to try to overcome those things. And it always comes down to trying to build another funnel on my Facebook feed, different groups. Every single day, there's so many people asking, hey, what's the best way for me to build up? Hey, what's the best kind of funnel that I can build? Hey, what's the best kind of content that I should post? And it's always focused on, well, what's the right method? Is it the content? Should I do a better logo? Hey, I'm getting ready to launch a book, and I'll ask some of these people. Or I'll look at the comments, and if I'm talking to them directly, I'll ask, well, why are you writing a book? What's the goal with that? Well, I want to make money, and I want to get on stages, and I want to do this and that. And it's always, what's the method? What's the method? And here's the thing that I've been noticing between very successful entrepreneurs who've built businesses. I built a multiple six-figure business, and other entrepreneurs who built multiple seven-figure and even beyond. The difference between them and those who are still yet to break through even that six-figure mark, or just getting started, or are struggling. And it's a very, very distinct difference in the way that they think about the execution. The question from those who are not successful, who are just starting, and who really haven't gained momentum is always a question of which method is going to fast track my success, which course, which strategy. And all of those things are completely pointless. They're a complete waste of time because it doesn't address what the real issue is. It's the same thing when I see someone who's giving away a free funnel, or they're giving a share funnel or a free lead magnet. It's the same. I'm gonna put these down because the sun's in my eyes. It's the same situation. You can give two people the exact same funnel. You can have two people create the exact same piece of content. One will work phenomenally well, and the other will be a complete bust. I've had content, most of the content I've ever posted was a complete bust early on. It didn't produce anything. Most of the content that most of you watching producing isn't doing anything. It's not attracting people. It's not getting engagement. And you don't even have to get high engagement. It's about the quality of the engagement. Why are people engaging with you? And this all comes down to not what the method is, not what the funnel is. That's not the point. That's missing what it's all about. I'm going to tell you why all this is pointless, because it sounds like a contradiction. Because I have funnels, I post content regularly. I've done interviews, I've done all the things that in the title of this video I say are a waste of time. So why does it seem like a contradiction? Where's the truth in it? Well, the truth is not in what the method is, it's in why the method is. So I was teaching a class last week, and I read a quote from a guy, Will Keenan. I think he's like a video marketer or something like that. And it was perfect. It perfectly summed up the point that I'm making. He said, it's not about what you upload, it's the strategy with which you upload. Hey, Cecilia. Hey, Ron. That's what it comes down to. It doesn't matter what method you use, because this is the mindset of most people. What method is going to work best? What method is going to make me money? People are asking, how can I quickly make $1,000 in the next month? What's the fastest way for me to scale to $100 a day? Well, will this method work? Will this other method work? And the simple truth is that yes, and yes, all of them will work. All the methods work, unless they're just completely stupid and outdated. The funnels work. Email marketing works. Posting content works. Paid advertising, organic reach, DMs, direct messages work. Facebook groups work. Networking works. Joint ventures work. All of it works. So it's not an issue of does it work or doesn't it work? Which one's going to work best? It's not even which one is going to work best for you. It all comes down to one simple thing. Why? Not what, why? Not how, why? What? My wife is saying good afternoon, and she's right over here. Thank you, babe, for the engagement. But it's not what method you use. It's not how you execute the method even. You can put up a funnel and people ask, well, how do I optimize it? It doesn't matter if it's not working. You're not at that point yet. Hey, John, what's going on? It's all about why. Why are you using a funnel? Why are you posting content? What is the strategy? The strategy is why. Why are you posting it? What is it meant to do? What's the thought process behind what you're posting? And especially when it comes to personal branding is where most everyone online is really focusing on personal branding. And this is why I've been doing this for years, personal branding. And now it's like the social media world is starting to really catch on as a whole. Even people who were all about direct response marketing, they're all about paid advertising, are now realizing, wow, if I build a personal brand, I can attract people much easier and I can really build a better business. And it's absolutely true. You build a personal brand, you will attract better clients. You will attract better paying clients, high ticket clients. You'll attract bigger opportunities. You'll make more money. And I've done that. I'm doing that. And I coach other entrepreneurs to do the same thing. And what I teach them is that especially when you build a personal brand, it's the why. It's the strategy. Most personal branding experts, if you really look at them, they're just glorified graphic designers. And there's a few other personal branding experts that I interact with online who are legit. And I look at their content and we go back and forth. I'll comment on their stuff, they'll comment on mine. And we all agree that most of the personal branding experts or branding experts in general they're really just creatives who change their title. And they can create things that look cool. They can create the great content, website, logo, all of that garbage. And then they hand it to their clients and their clients accomplish nothing. They make no money. They get no more leads. Why? Because they don't give them the essential part. Think of it this way. I like to give this illustration. Nobody pays $300,000 for a Ferrari, sometimes more than that. My dream car, one of them is a Ferrari, and I will buy a Ferrari in the next 2 years. Nobody buys a Ferrari just because it looks cool. If you do, you're an idiot. People who buy a Ferrari, they actually want not just the cool look of it, they want that engine, they want that power, they want that V12, that 800 horsepower, that 0 to 60 in half a second. There's so much more. It's about the engine, it's about the interior, it's about all the internal things, not just the exterior aesthetic things. And people approach branding in the same way. They approach it just from the aesthetic. You can have a brand that looks cool and it can still suck. You can have a brand that looks better than everyone else, that makes you look like you are $1 million, and you can still not make $1. Because if your brand doesn't make sense, it won't make dollars. Your brand doesn't make sense, your business won't make dollars. And how do you make your brand make sense? That all comes down to one thing: strategy. What's the strategy for the content you're posting? How are you building? What's the method? Strategy and a method. What's the method the process you go through in determining what the content should be? Why you post the content? Why do I do a live stream like this? Why do I title it the way I title it? Why do I do it at a certain time? It's all a strategy. Why do I focus on Facebook and I'm not really focused on Instagram right now, other than posting? Why do I not use Twitter at all? You look at top influencers, and when I say influencer, I don't mean they're just posting, poolside pics or whatever, or doing poolside live streams. I mean people who are really making an impact. The Tony Robbins, the Marie Forleos, the people who are really giving value. There's a strategy to everything they do. It's not shooting from the hip. It's consistent with an end goal. And to get to your end goal from where you are now, you have to have a strategy. So how do you develop that strategy? Well, that's one of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make, is they don't have a strategy. And then even if they try to develop a strategy, it doesn't work because they don't know how to develop it. They don't have a proven process for developing a strategy that works. They are Googling, and this is what I did. This is what I did for years, and finally, I learned a lot of things. I got good at it. I was getting overpaid. I paid more than my competitors as a speaker when I started out, before I started my branding agency and really got dove into personal branding and digital marketing. And if you don't know me, I run a digital marketing and digital branding agency called D6 Media, and we've worked with celebrities, people who are multiple New York Times best-selling authors, people who are on Shark Tank, investors on Shark Tank. We've had clients who were $100 million brands, worked with Fortune 500 CEOs. All of these great opportunities that came out of personal branding. And it's because there was a strategy. So what's the biggest mistake entrepreneurs make? They don't have a strategy, number one. And two, they don't know how to develop one. So they read lots of articles. And here's the thing. Here's what will happen if all you do is read articles, like I did at the beginning. You'll get overwhelmed. You'll get frustrated. You'll get so much information. And like I said earlier, you'll get to a point where you get confused and you're thinking which method works, because that's all the information. It's about this method works. No, use this method. And the fact is, you'll get frustrated because the fact is every method can work. Every method does work for someone. But in order for it to work for you, you have to have a specific and intentional and proven strategy behind why you're using that method, and then what methods you do and don't use. It's not one size fits all. I can go and copy exactly what Damon John or Gary Vaynerchuk is doing, and I did it in the past when I first started, and it didn't work until I did the smartest thing I could have done, which was I got a mentor who taught me some basics about branding, and that just kind of took off from there. Once I was pointing in the right direction, I just dove in deep and really started to learn and master and help others get results. And then finally, I developed my own method. In the process of that, I just went back and I said, well, what did I do that helped me get on stages, that helped me get booked, that helped me get clients, that helped me get on stage with people like Les Brown, that helped me get booked to speak at one of Kevin Harrington's events. And I wrote it down, and it's called the D6 Method. I created it because to solve the problem that so many entrepreneurs like yourself, if you're still watching this, face. I know I need a strategy, and in interviewing entrepreneurs, everyone said the same thing. They would say, well, I don't have time to create content. Well, no, you have time. You just don't have a strategy and a method for doing it quickly and efficiently. Well, I don't know how to niche down or even determine my niche. Well, the problem is that it's not that you don't know how to do it. It's that you don't have a process for doing it to guide you through. The niche is there. That's the easy part if you have a method for doing it. Other comments are, my content doesn't seem to resonate. No one seems to engage. I don't seem to get responses. My landing page doesn't convert. The last funnel that I built, that is still running now, converts at over 40%. The benchmark, the minimum you want to have is 20%. 30 is great. Mine's over 40 because of strategy. Strategy for determining what's the most value for my audience. What's going to resonate? What's their true problem? What's their passion? What's the problem keeping them from fulfilling that passion? What's the pain they feel because of the problem that keeps them from fulfilling their passion? It all stacks. That's what the D6 method is. It's a step-by-step process for building a personal brand. And not only that, making you the expert in your personal brand. So funnels, ads, email marketing, content, all of that is a complete waste of time if you don't have a strategy. So you've got to get a strategy, and you've got to have a method that walks you step by step in developing that strategy. So I want to invite you. Here's my invitation to you, and it's absolutely free. It's not a sales offer. It's absolutely free, and I'm going to put it in the comments. So if you're watching the replay, check the comments, and I'll put the link there. I'm doing a free live training this coming Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to talk about, I'm going to show you the 5 biggest mistakes, including a couple of that, one that I mentioned on here, the 5 biggest mistakes that entrepreneurs make that keeps them from profitably growing their personal brand. The 5 biggest mistakes, what the old method of building a personal brand is, why it doesn't work, and why it'll cost you thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions in wasted time and money. I'll put that in the link. Go check it out completely free for you. If you don't want to, then don't do it. If you do, you're going to benefit from it. You're going to learn. And then if it helps you, then at the end, I will give an opportunity for you to get even more, to work with me and have me help you get results like my clients have gotten. Frank, who is a speaker, who saw a 200% increase in his business and now was doing multiple 6 figures, averaging somewhere around $20,000 a month just as a speaker and doing some coaching on the side. Ernest, who added $750,000 to his business using three simple strategies over about like a 1 year period after we worked together. So you can take advantage of that. Click the link below, check it out. 5 biggest mistakes that keep entrepreneurs from profitably growing their personal brand. That's it. Don't make those mistakes. So before you build another funnel, before you go and create a whole bunch of more content, before you get frustrated, before you get discouraged and start feeling like you suck, you don't suck. The problem is not that you suck. The problem is not that no one cares about your offer. The problem is you don't have a strategy for what you're putting out there. So it's not clear. And if it's not clear, that means it doesn't make sense. And if your brand doesn't make sense, your business won't make dollars. It's that simple. So if you want to build a personal brand the right way, I want to help you with the free training. So make sure you check out the link in this post if you're on Facebook, or down in the description if you're watching this somewhere else, and go check it out. Absolutely free. And if you're watching this on the replay, check it out, because there will be the link for it. All right, people.